I just got this two verses from 2 Timothy chapter 2 in verse 1 and 2. Really familiar Bible verses. I just want to share that with you guys. That's from Paul to Timothy, and he said, "Then, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Jesus Christ, and the things you have heard from me say in the presence of many witnesses, trust to these reliable people who can also be qualified to teach others also." So I just want to single out two words. The first thing is grace, because remember at that time Paul was in prison and Timothy took over the church, and he was young. He had a lot of people who were older than him. He was known to be quite timid. So he was a young pastor, not experienced, but he was strong in his faith, but he wasn't really experienced in ministry. And that's why Paul wrote to him. He said, "Look, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Jesus Christ." So it talks about just having that grace of the Lord. And remember, if we want to follow Jesus, if we want to serve him, the grace of God is always available for us, because we are actually doing things for his people, for God's people. So we're not just like doing it because we're running on our own strength. There's always some sort of supernatural grace. But in saying that, grace is not automatic. If it were, Paul wouldn't have needed to remind Timothy to be strong in the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ. Meaning, somehow you just have to be really conscious about the fact that the grace of God is on my life. He has appointed you guys and anointed all of us by faith to do what he's called us to do. If you remember, there's a verse from Genesis chapter 6 where it says, Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So one quick question is that, how did you find your keys last time when you lost your keys?
Pray.
Yep. Spiritually speaking, but practically? Yes. 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 You looked. You were searching. You were looking. You were seeking. And that's what it means. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. So that means Noah was actually seeking and looking for the grace of God for him and for his life and for his generation. And when you think about even the word "in the eyes of the Lord," I mean, gosh, you are talking about face-to-face encounter. You come so close to the Lord that you can actually see yourself in the Lord. That's how close Noah found the Lord. Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord. And I want to find grace in the eyes of the Lord, but how? I'll seek it. I say, Lord, I don't have this in, whatever areas in my life, but I ask you for your grace. I'll come before you boldly. I don't have that, but I know you do have that if I ask you from a right heart motive. I'll come before you to ask for that. And you know what? I would get it. First, I know that he's not holding back. And second, I know that I can be bold, be full of faith to ask him for what I need. Whether he would give it or not, in the right time or not, I really don't care, but I will ask him. So Noah sought the Lord and he found grace. So Paul said, be strong in the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, Timothy. Right? The second thing is faithfulness. It says here, he said, the things that you learned from me, Timothy, pass this on to the faithful men who can also teach others also. So right there in one verse, you can see 4 generations of discipleship. Paul, Timothy, faithful men, and others. If you can successfully or reproduce 4 generations of faith or discipleship, then you know what discipleship is all about. So that's a good goal, for us to help other people to help other people. It's a really noble task. It's a really beautiful thing. So I want to encourage you guys to keep looking into it. Think about Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph, 4 generations. And then when it came to the 4th generation, you will see an explosive growth. That's always the case. I think of Jesus, the 12 disciples, and then the 70, and then the day of the Pentecost. The 4th generation, it always explodes in multiplication. So I just want to encourage all of us, keep praying for that, keep caring for the people that you care, pour into them, and you will see things change. The gospel must be faithfully passed on, so don't compromise it, don't water it down, and don't apologize for it. That's what it is. Be bold about it. So generations of disciples are not built on the stage. They are built on humble beginnings, ordinary, everyday faithfulness. They are built on consistent prayers, a simple conversation, a simple encouragement, a simple conversation, or a difficult conversation, one conversation at a time. That's how we build our discipleship. Right, so the question is, who helped you grow in your Christian walk? Who are you helping to grow in your Christian walk? Pray for one person by name. Dedicate a bit of time to pray for that person and ask the Lord whether it's time to take one step toward discipling that person. Keep praying for them. So that's pretty much my talk. There's a quick devotional. So any questions on that?